Hello everybody, it's me, Aaron Bedard. I'm on Veteran Guerrilla Radio here at 11 o'clock on the dot, and I'm just looking for a place here. My good friend Bruno, I think it's 418. Hold on a minute, is that it? How are y'all doing? How you doing, buddy? I just started it.
Come on.
How you doing?
Good.
Just jump right into it, because I've noticed that if I start having a conversation before the show, things end up getting talked about, and then you don't talk about the show. Let me just set the sucker up.
Yeah.
Here's my whole sound studio and production team right here. It's this thing right here. I'll just put that right there and just fucking throw it together. Sit right here.
Sure.
All right. Let's do that. So you have a CrossFit gym right around the corner from here.
Right downstairs, right there.
Right there. And what's it called?
CrossFit Stasis.
CrossFit Stasis. Does that keep you busy?
Keeps you very busy.
Outstanding. Here, sit there and I'll angle it so you're closest. And just adjust that. We're low tech, low budget, low tech. Absolute, keep it simple, stupid whole philosophies around this show. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible and affordable as possible.
Right on. I love it.
I don't have the money.
How's it going, brother? Good?
All right.
I
was trying to keep up with Trevor Green last night, so I'm a bit fuzzy. I don't drink at all anymore, so like once in a blue moon we do the show, we'll have a beer or two, and well, Trevor wanted to go to the pub. I haven't been to the pub since we got a kid. So we had a few, and his wife came in to pick him up at the end of the night, and she sat with us for another half hour, and we had a great chat. It was really great to sit down and be able to have a conversation for a few hours with him. It was fantastic. And Andrew Farrow has been a good buddy to him all throughout his recovery.
Right on.
A great visit. Now, so with we first met about a year ago at the Wounded Warrior Weekend Retreat here on the island.
Yes.
And you had asked me, you told me about this Invictus Games thing, and Aaron, you have a great network. Send out the seeds there. I need guys on this team.
Yeah.
I'm the team captain for this Invictus Games thing. The only thing I knew about you before that was that you'd gone with True Patriot Love to the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start off there. We'll get to the Invictus Games, folks, but I think it's really cool and important to have a chat about walking to the North Pole, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
You know what? That was probably the most incredible things I've done, and it was the expedition that True Patriot Love does.
Yep.
Did you want to put it in there? Did you want to put it in there?
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Right on. The True Patriot Love, the expedition that they make is what is good is that they have business leaders in there and people who are very involved in the community. And the expeditions are not ordinary expedition. It's not just a weekend here or a weekend there. You get to actually go for a while and go to these places. They just came back from the South Pole. They're planning a couple of them across Canada now this year. They always one in Canada, one outside Canada. They went to Nepal before the North Pole.
Right.
So they bring veterans in contact with these industry leaders, and then they go do this incredible expedition that actually was probably the most healing thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any iPads, I didn't bring any technology. So we basically walk for 7 days, pulling your gear in a toboggan, about 90 pounds. And
You've done that in the military once or twice.
Right? And it was
toboggan everywhere.
Yeah, and it was and a backpack, and you carried your food, you carried everything. And it's something to see the north. Like it's flat. You can basically see the curvature of the earth. It's that flat.
Did you see any bears?
No, we didn't see any bears, and we had a bear dog with us too.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Everybody was keeping an eye out, but it was the biggest expedition to the North Pole with 53 people. They made a documentary about it.
Holy cow! And I haven't seen that yet. I remember bugging Dan Scott's one of the plaintiffs on my court,
right.
the court case, and he got to go with you.
Yeah, the two Danimals.
Yeah.
Right, him and his friend Dan.
Yeah.
And the Danimals.
And then you had some Olympians.
Yes, we had Caroline Ouellette and Geneviève Lacasse. They were from the girls hockey team, gold
The
medalists.
gold medalist. The goalie was one of them, right?
Yeah, the goalie and the captain.
So there's some neat people, and these corporate people, well-to-do people that when they have spare time, they want to go on adventurous treks. And
that's it, and they raise money, right? So it costs.
You guys along is pretty awesome. That's
yeah.
a great opportunity.
So basically, how True Patriot Love works is that they ask who wants to go on this expedition. So if you're a business leader who wants to help, you pay your way on this expedition, but also you have to raise money.
Yeah.
And it's not a small amount.
You gotta sing for your supper.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys are, they do that. That's what I like about True Patriot Love is they don't knock on doors. They don't do any of that stuff. They just ask people who want to help, who are able to help at that level to help. And they do such a great job. And these guys, which was pretty funny actually, on the 4th day in the North Pole. We're just sitting down, taking a break, and getting some food into us before continuing on. And you have these industry leaders who are saying, "Hey, Bruno, what can we do to help? Because we want to help veterans, but we can't find them anywhere." And then I had the vets who were sitting on their toboggans eating their lunch, and they're saying, "Man, I'm looking for some help with business, and I'm looking for some help about how to get back to school or something like that." And I'm like, these guys want to help, and these guys need to help, and then where's the missing link here?
Like a Veterans Business Alliance type of thing?
Yeah, and I kind of became that central hub and connecting these people, and became the guy who is the go-to. So, and then these industry leaders have been nothing but amazing. They've helped me with my business. Sometimes it's just a phone call. Most of the time it's just advice, and they're always there. There hasn't been a time that I haven't picked up the phone and called True Patriot Love that I didn't get an answer.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very, very supportive organization, and the trips that they do are by far changed my life with it, because it was so quiet. I had time to deal with my issues. There were other soldiers that were there as well, right? Bjarne, right, Nielsen?
Yeah.
Right, B. So he was there as well. David Quick was on there. Right, used to be the CEO of 3RCR.
Yeah.
Right. So,
what was your trade?
I was clearance diver, Navy clearance diver, and before that,
were you based right here?
Yeah, right out of the fleet diving unit.
Outstanding.
Got injured on the course, and then I was.
Did you go over doing EOD during Afghanistan?
Yeah, I was counter IED. Yeah, we were the busiest team of the whole campaign.
When they had the route clearance package?
No, we were a small team, right? We were small teams that go and dig out the IEDs, right? So you had the route clearance package. That's the engineers that used to do that. Then you had smaller teams of counter IED that would go around.
You had the thing with the big arm, the big scratchy thing, and it scratches the ground and goes, "Yeah, I think there's something in there." And
right, and then these guys would call us, and then we go dig it up.
Yeah,
it was good times.
Did that stress you out?
That's basically the tempo was up. We did over 100 IEDs, sometimes 3 to 5 a day.
Those two teams in 2006 combined for over 400. That's a crazy job. You go train in the Navy and you get all this expensive training to go dive in water, and then they sent all of you Navy divers into the middle of the fucking desert to go do probably the worst job in the whole group, because you're going to every disaster that happens. On par with the medics at Roll 3, seeing every single bloody person that gets hurt.
Yeah, post blast is basically, I think post blast was the downside of the job, right? You get there and then you'd see, we went on a couple of Canadian ones, we went on some Americans one, some Brits one. My first call, I was 2009.
Okay.
On my first call was 3 suicide bombers who detonated in a market in front of the governor's house. And it
Palace?
That was the governor's house, right?
Okay.
Down in Kandahar.
Yeah.
And it was a full market, and that was my first call. First call was just a mayhem of just destruction, right?
And screaming and
that
chaos.
set the pace for the whole tour. And when I came back, I was I didn't know when I came back, right, that I had been affected by this high tempo of work.
All you're doing is sucking it up, and I just got to keep going, and you don't get that sleep to process properly, right?
Exactly, right? You come back here, and then you obviously, because you've been so busy, the unit wants to help you, and they say, "Hey, why don't you just go over there, be an EOD, and just take it easy, relax with these things." and that's when that stuff starts bubbling up, right? And
Did you do the Veterans Transition Program?
I went to the first weekend.
Yeah.
And it's a very good program. You know, it's a group program, and so you've done it.
Yeah.
Right? Chris Linford, right? He had recommended that.
Yeah.
And then I went to the first weekend, and for me, I'm a guy who takes on other people's pain.
Yeah, so, you know what that's like.
Right. Right. So I decided not to continue with that program. For me, as you know, is fitness. I like to work out, get a good feeling, and then deal with my issues, and it's been working very well for me.
Being able to be physically active is a huge plus in
it's
recovery.
a must. Yeah.
Like with me, my head injury issue, I look perfectly fine, but as soon as I start moving around and get my heart rate up, my head, the pressure in my head I start getting a headache, and it just worsens, and then neck and back too.
Right.
I was talking to Trevor about that, about the difficulty of idleness with mental health. It makes recovery a lot more difficult. So physical fitness is, if you can do it, you gotta do it.
It's a must. I need it every day. Yeah,
and it helps process anger.
Yep, it's
helps
an outlet.
you sleep better.
Yeah, it's an outlet. It gets you to release some of that tension that you have. We all know that when you're dealing with either depression, anxiety, panic attacks, that it's a chemical imbalance that you have in your body, right? Your endocrine system is releasing that. And what you do when you have fitness is that it's a quick chemical change. You release some endorphins, you feel better, your outlet, you release that anger. And then after that, you're more calm to be able to talk to some of your peers. I have a veterans program at my gym, and I work hand in hand with some veterans to go through that.
And you develop a stronger tolerance to triggers.
To triggers, yes. And you can cope better. And you know that if, some days I said I need to get to the gym. I need to go and do a workout.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some people don't know that right away, or it's not the first thing they think about. And they go for things like alcohol or drugs or anything that will give you also an immediate chemical change, right?
Yeah, they want the easy fix.
Right. Well,
the quick fix.
We're designed that way, right?
Yeah.
As humans, we're designed for the path of least resistance. But I can guarantee you that if you do work out,
you have to invest and you have to do some work.
You have to, and it brings you back to your roots, right? A lot of the vets that are in my gym say it's like doing morning PT again, right?
Yeah.
Because you're part of a group and you're suffering together, right? And then it's enjoyable. And now you're talking with. You're involved in a community. You're talking with people who aren't in the military, who have no idea, and you can reinvent yourself, right? And say, hey, this is what I want to do, and a lot of connections and stuff. And I think that's a very good part of the transition to go into civilian life.
Yeah, I went through the COPE program with my wife in January.
Yeah.
And every morning at 6 a.m., Chris and Catherine had set up for us to do yoga, and so for 4 or 5 days we did yoga every morning. When I got back home, I went and got a membership somewhere, and I kept going with it. I've dropped off of doing that since the court case suddenly went back to being on. I've become socially awkward. Like, I go into this yoga place, there's no guys in there, it's all hot women in spandex, and I'm a married guy, and I'm like staring at the ceiling all day, like
the struggle
sure that no one
is real.
thinks I'm looking at them, and there's this awkwardness. I'm not a gym guy, I've always been a worker bee, and I work myself to the bone. That's the way I've always been. And with the yoga there, I don't have to worry about cardio, going up and getting the dizziness, and my core is getting built up, but then I started getting some real social anxiety there with the case going back on, and it just started to feel really socially awkward to go in there. I was wishing there's more of a balanced group of men and women, but we're out in Chilliwack, and not a lot of guys are into fucking yoga.
Right.
But it's an incredible way for me to get my fitness up and get my core back.
I would stick with that. I was going to suggest that for you because of your head injury. I was going to say yoga would be it.
Hey, I just want to go back, and you have the fitness club here. Did you look at things like naturopathy much as options?
Yes, always.
Keyed in with people in that area? I
am. The thing is that as a coach, and I'm also a life coach and mental strength coach certified, is that you have to have those tools in your belt. Because there's just like different veterans are going to deal with different ways, right? So so some for them, the Veterans Transition Network group setting was great. They made tremendous changes and they got back on their feet.
Yep.
Other people was I remember going for a half a day of horse riding and hugging a horse for a full morning, right? And then that was good. And I think you did fly fishing, did you? Did you do
I
that?
didn't go on any.
You didn't go on any.
But I fish. I love fishing.
Yeah.
That's my
So
meditation.
that's for you, right? So I think that you need to find, as a veteran, you need to find which one works for you and stick to that one, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not all created the same, and but we have to try everything. Naturopaths have a wealth of knowledge of how to help you deal with with herbs and stuff like that. Acupuncture is another one. Massage, which I'm going one for
I was
one.
leading with the naturopaths. It's kind of leading to. Have you looked at adrenal fatigue?
With
That's
these
something.
guys.
Yeah.
So I use there's study now, Leon. I use for that ashwagandha and rhodiola.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
So those once again, your naturopath will help you with those. And what does that do is that it's actually a stress reliever. I have mine also with. What's funny because it's a stress reliever, but with caffeine.
I can't touch caffeine.
Right. So me, it's I like it because it gets me going all day because I have long.
It gets
days.
me going in an angry way.
Okay.
Right.
So, but that's a trial
for me.
Trial and error, right? So,
Yeah.
but the ashwagandha and rhodiola actually gives you this you get the caffeine, the high from the caffeine, but it gives you no crash, no jitterness. Everything is smooth the whole time. I find that my stress level go way down, and I'm operating from 6 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night and dealing with clients and doing these things. And I have 2 businesses,
And you're not burning out.
and I'm not burning out.
Oh, that's fantastic,
Yeah.
dude. That gives me hope. My transition right now is difficult because I'm still part of this court case.
Yes,
And
I just can't imagine.
I'm in a real pinch now. It's 4 fucking years. Like, it's been 4 years.
And we thought we were done with that.
It keeps escalating.
Yeah.
And I keep having to up the profile on this and come up with ways to, unite veterans all across Canada. And my hair's starting to thin out, and I'm burning out. I can't keep fucking doing it.
Right. And the thing is, Aaron, as you know, obviously we've known each other for a while, and I've known the case, and I signed up early on.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I just can't imagine what you're going through, and it's very disappointing when they said we were done with it, we would find a solution, and then obviously they're going back on their words. It's very disappointing for the veterans community. It's very disappointing for you. You're carrying this burden for all of us.
I have to be the bad guy.
Right.
But I don't want to be the bad guy.
That's okay.
Anymore.
That's like being a
Because I go
coach.
talk to people like a wounded warrior or soldier on people, and sometimes I get mad because I don't get support because they have to keep classy in order to be able to do what they got to do. They got a job position which has to be very highest level profile and nothing but clean as a whistle, right?
Right.
And they all know me, but at the end of the day, we, the people involved in the case, are all fucking alone, basically.
But you're not. One of the things is that you're not. The veterans community is behind you, and the thing is that it's kind of like what they're doing is it's smart in a way. They're dividing and conquering, right?
They're trying to break us.
That's what their main goal seems to be, right? They want guys to not be healthy. They want guys that not in a malicious way. They just want to. They're hoping you'll go away.
Yeah.
Right? You say, this guy's going to get burnt out. He's just about there. And you know that you have the support of the veterans and behind you. And it's a tough job. I wouldn't want it, just so you know.
I'm never doing it again.
Hopefully we won't have to. But, if we're looking at the government's position right now, and I met with the Minister of Veterans Affairs, and when I went in Toronto for the Invictus game, and I met with Trudeau, and all they were saying is how much they wanted to support us, right?
Yeah.
And then they were doing that, and they're, it's the whole, political platform. But when they came back with, we have to go back to court, I was very disappointed because it's 2 stories, right? They look at you in the face and they say, we're going to take care of you guys. We're changing these things. This is our platform. We're going to go back to the pension. We're going to take care, make sure that everybody's taken care of.
My job now is to make sure that the idiots that advise them are fired.
Right.
Because they gave them bad advice.
Right.
Like, you went through clearance diver training. That's some tough training, right?
Yeah.
I went and joined the engineers because I was am a great swimmer, and because I wanted to be a combat diver.
Right.
And I thought, well, that's like being a Navy SEAL in the Canadian Forces. I want to do that. And being an engineer with construction my whole life. For those of you who don't know, if you want to be a combat diver, you have to go through a 10-day long prelim, which is kind of a Hell Week type thing. Like you're carrying around a 20, 30-pound rock everywhere, and a boat, and a flag, and all this stuff, running around everywhere, all over base, running like 20, 30, 40 kilometers. And this is in Gagetown, so we're swimming across the river there, the St. John River, and with a strong bloody current, and going back and forth, back and forth. Here, carry a rock, and then you're swimming with a bloody rock, and they're going by in boats, hitting you with waves, and going, quit, you loser, quit, you're a piece of shit, and, you know, just ring the bell. And for 10 days, and I did it knowing that it was my first year at the unit, and 90% chance they're not even going to send me on the course. But I was trying to prove myself that I'm a worthy person to be in the unit. I was trying to get some cred. And whoever did the assessment on us, thinking that we would break this year, they failed. They failed the PMO's people. I can't quit. I don't know how to quit. I didn't want to quit when we were in the forces with the PTSD thing. I had a hidden injury for a full year at the unit, and it wasn't until I started self-medicating that they said, you have to leave. So they're making a big... Sorry, I've turned this conversation a little bit about me for a moment, but I forgot that you're a clearance diver, and it just kind of wanted to put that together. So we've talked about the
North Pole,
North Pole.
and we've talked about that, and it's very important. We're going to go into, if you don't mind, I think you wanted to talk about the Invictus Games.
Yeah.
And talk about Prince Harry.
How did this past year unfold?
You know what? It was great. I think it's one of the best thing that is out there for a lot of us. I was fortunate enough to be chosen to be team captain for this year. Yeah. And then put together a team. That's why I was looking for members. And for those of you out there, I think you should apply. I think the application process is I don't know if it's closed now, but you should apply because it's a great experience. It's going to happen again, so just stay tuned to it. There's the Invictus page Canada, Team Canada, right? And there's the Invictus Toronto.
I saw something on a post yesterday that there was application closing July 31st.
Right. So it's closed, but this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? So when
I would still apply anyway.
Yeah, I would still apply because we're going to need people in the following years, right? Yeah. And this is what happens. We had, when we were reaching out for guys and girls, we only received, I would say, about 75 maybe application, and we needed way more, right? Because we took some people, we went through the process, and then we took them on, and then as we went through the training camp, and then as the kind of like the whole thing took some speed, some people couldn't make it. They had other engagements. They needed to be replaced.
And PTSD factors.
PTSD factors and
things
stuff.
Start to get closer to the date. Sometimes you're just like, this is starting to get the apprehension, anxiety.
Right, and that's going to happen to you. And then once again, I was very fortunate to be able to talk to the people to stay on board. And once they did, my job was to take them to the start line, right? And once they were there, then it was in their hands, and we won 22 medals. Yeah. It was incredible. Some people were like, some people really needed this, and they turned their lives around because of it. Prince Harry, 100% genuine, awesome guy. Yeah. I met him a couple of times, and every single time I've seen him go through the crowd or doing something on the side with some pretty high profile people, and veterans would go up to him and say, hey, thank you. He would stop doing whatever he's doing, and he would talk to them, and he would take pictures with them. It didn't matter if he was talking to George Bush or whatever. Yeah. He would just spend the time and talk to you and wait till you were done. and say, okay, that's it.
That got pretty high profile with all the people that are popping up during the games, eh? Like George Bush is
I met George Bush.
He's making small talk with you guys. He just
This is what I'm going to say. When you see him
blending into the room, and that was pretty class act.
The one thing I'm going to say is this, is that I wasn't a big fan of George Bush, right? Obviously with wars and stuff and everything, and you know what he goes on. But he came to the Invictus game. I personally met him, and he was another guy that was 100% genuine. He went to the crowd, held babies, and he was like, I took a picture with him, like you know, and I said he photobombed my picture, and he came and talked to me, and he said, how you doing? And you know when somebody's being honest. I won't name any names people that aren't honest, but so he was great. Him and Prince Harry were fantastic, actually. Wow. I have a whole newfound respect for George W. Bush and his wife. They really wanted to be there. They actually didn't go all that time towards where the action was. They were in the background. They would sit down with vets and talk to them, and people would go and like I said, like he came in over to me and he saw me and knew that I was the team captain from Canada, and
awesome.
He came over and he shook my hand and he says, hey, how you doing? How's everything doing? You guys are doing great here. Awesome. I know that our troops serve with you guys, and we're very happy to have you. And it was awesome. It was amazing.
Brian McEachran was with you?
Yeah, Big Mac.
Big Mac?
Big Mac. I was talking to him this morning, actually.
Outstanding.
Yeah. He's
you know, he's one of the guys that ran my prelim.
Oh,
and you know how big he is. You're both the same size as him.
He
made me fucking carry him. And we were having a race. Everyone had the fire team carry somebody, and they all had a bunch of shrimps, right? And they were all bigger than me, and then they had a small guy. And then Brian McKenna, it's like fucking elephants, like climbing onto your back.
Yeah.
And then he's like got his head right next to me, and he's like, if you drop me, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. I was running with that guy.
I call him the gentle giant. That guy is amazing, and he did really well in the bike races.
And he's really taking off with it now,
right? Yes, he is. He's waiting for the word go again for Toronto.
Outstanding.
And you know, he's...
so he's training.
He is training. He's racing. Actually, he's racing. He's doing some tons of racing, and he's actually doing really well.
That's awesome.
Right?
And then you're the archers, Nick Meunier.
Nick Meunier. And
he got a medal.
He got a medal. You got Adam Sear got a medal.
And Adam's here in town, right?
Yeah, Adam is here in town. He trains
at the gym. If you're out there, maybe we can meet up. I'm here for 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look. Hey, Brian Adams. Love you, Bruno. Miss you, buddy. Right on.
Brian Adams?
Yeah, he's over in Ottawa. Dude, what are you doing on Facebook? Aren't you supposed to be working?
That's like a knife, Brian Adams? Is it him?
No. It's Brian Adams. He's a close protection.
He's another Brian Adams.
Yeah, another Brian Adams. The better of the two. The most popular one.
It was the summer of '64. It's probably the summer of '94, right?
So to come back to the Invictus Games, guys and girls, apply. Okay. You want to be part of this. They will train you. You know, if you're in the Victoria area, come and see me at the gym. I'll give you all the info you need. You need to apply. You need to be part of this. It's like being part of a unit again.
And who knows? You might not end up at the end of this year if you get involved going to the Invictus Games. Maybe you get busy with something else. Maybe anxiety might take you out of the running. But going through the workup and getting into a training plan and having a goal within a year, that meaning and purpose.
The journey is the reward.
The reward. Yeah. The people you'll end up training alongside, and you all go through a little bit of a life change together as a team.
As a team. And you get to represent
for life.
Represent Canada again on the world stage. And it's a great feeling. It's for good things. You meet other countries. We had a blast. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Have you talked to the head fellow there, Mr. Burns? He's super busy getting things organized because he's got to raise 38 mil. About?
I'm not too sure.
That doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but I know that these guys are working really, really hard to make sure that Toronto is going to be, you know, their goal is to be the best games.
The biggest, best.
Biggest, best. And they want to, you know, have everything right, because we learn. Every game you learn something, right? So in London, they you know, which was the inaugural one, they worked on some things in Orlando, which was at the Walt Disney Resorts, right? Yeah. It was great. And then you know, the families weren't staying with the members. So this year, Toronto wanted to make sure that the families are with the members in the same hotel, doing the same, so that travel together and do these things, and they want to make sure that and the facilities in Toronto, we were training on our training camps over at the Pan Am Parapan, right?
Yeah, I'm listening. Stupid little
there we go.
thing popped
Are
up
we good?
Yep.
And then those facilities are state of the art.
Okay.
They can make the pool shallower, more deeper, longer, shorter. It's incredible. They got everything in there. It was amazing. So you'll get basically, if you apply and you put the application in, you'll get to be trained by top level coach. We had Adam Creek come over to my gym and train us on rowing. That guy is an outstanding individual. He was gold medalist in rower for Canada.
Before my injury, I could run a 10K in about 37 to 40 minutes.
That's crazy, man.
And now I can't. I go
Do I
chase
look
after
like-
my kid across the room, and I get dizzy now.
Yeah.
For some of us, we're probably not going to get there. But so it's something I reached out to Mr. Burns and then one of his reps that was at the last Veterans Summit in Ottawa.
Okay.
I was trying to impress upon her and encourage the thought of all of the amps. There's less than 30 amps from Afghanistan. Find a way to get the people that we know aren't going to be able to be competitive and in an event to at least get them to the games.
So
Even if it's like reaching out to their local legion or local vet organizations locally in each region to raise some money to get their guy there, their local vet.
It's very important to know this actually, Aaron, is that you don't need to be competitive at the Invictus Games. It has nothing to do with that.
That's important.
It has nothing to do with that. You don't need, listen, I'm not one of the best rowers in the world, right? We had some people that, it's just about the journey, guys and girls. It's about going there. Don't worry about your performance. Concentrate on training and getting yourself better. That's the goal of the games. It's about creating a momentum for you to get out of, your basement, or if you're having a hard time, or your hometown or something like that, and go on this journey of getting back and being fit.
Yeah.
And that, I think today, why we're doing this is very important for me. That's the message that I give to my vet, and it's that with everything that's going on with your court case, with VAC, with the military, with the government and all that, which is unfortunate, but it's just a way life is going right now.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take charge of your life and start making some steps towards the direction that you need to be healthy.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like for you, right? So it doesn't need to be what I do, CrossFit. It doesn't need to be yoga or anything intense at the beginning. I remember 4 years ago when I was, diagnosed and I was in the dark, and it was a very, very dark place. I got back into working out by doing little 5-minute workouts. But that accomplishment of that 5-minute workout that day, one, released some pain for that 5 minutes, and two, gave me an accomplishment in the day.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do this court battle, if we're going to do and stand up and really unite together, it's very important that we get physically and mentally fit, right? Just like we were before. But it's time you can also reinvent yourself. That's what I did. Yeah. I reinvented myself. 4 years ago, there was no way I could be walking the North Pole. I just came back from Chicago talking to 10,000 people, right, about the Invictus Games, owning businesses, helping vets. I could barely tie my shoes, right, and get out of the house. But these things need to happen. And now we have...
You have to have a rebirth.
We have to have a rebirth, right, and move. And now, you won't be the only voice that will be promoting vets to come up. I think that it would make a bigger impact, if you ask me personally, if we have a community of veterans that are healthy, that can go on and make an impact on the political platform, going to talking generally.
Classy and positive way.
Classy and positive way.
That is the hardest thing of all.
Totally. And that's one thing that, we're probably going to talk offline about it. But the thing is that, like you said at the beginning, the government basically and it's very, I got to choose my word very carefully here.
Yeah.
It's not that they're doing on purpose. They're not thinking, hey, let's make them sad and let's wait till they all, pass on or whatever. It's just it's a big machine, right? They're not in a rush. They're just going to wait and wait and wait. And usually what happens is that people drop off. They're just tired. You're tired with it.
Oh, yeah,
You've been dragging this on forever. I'm tired for you, just so
Yeah.
you know. And the thing is that, but if you're healthy and you have staying power,
Yeah.
then it's going to probably change their mindset. They're probably going to be more apt to saying, hey, other people are going to start listening to you, right? Because you're doing shows like this, you know, and then there's more programs out there. The Invictus Games are a very good platform and saying, hey, this is a bunch of vets that are doing something about themselves. They're going back to work. They're doing, you know, but at the same time, they can say, hey, this problem needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Right? There's a big difference between that or trying to talk to a guy or girl who is not well, who's not going to last I'm not saying in any macabre way or anything like that, but it's not going to last the fight. They're just going to say, right, I don't want to talk to this person because we're probably not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you have a very healthy veteran who's saying, hey, this is what I've been through, can communicate these words and say, this is what PTSD is like. This is what having a missing limb is like. And this is the kind of help that I needed. Mm-hmm. And I think that and then we can speak for the people who can't speak for themselves, like about the lump sum payment compared to a pension, a monthly pension.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of that, right? Obviously, if somebody's not well and they receive a large amount of money, within 6 months it's gone, this person has basically either no chance to get better, or when they do get better, there's no more money, right? If you have a monthly pension and the guy, you know, he goes through his, but every month he can either drink or do drugs or do this or buy this or waste the money, it doesn't matter.
Screw up one way or another.
Screw up one way or another.
He gets another chance the next month.
But he gets another chance. And if he gets well and he goes on program, either comes to my gym or goes to True Patriot Love, Soldier On, whatever organization, and then one day it clicks for him and he gets better, that check's still there.
And he gets to a plateau or gets a, head out of the water and stays there.
And can go out and be healthy and say, hey, because I can guarantee you, by the vets that I help, the minute that they get healthy, they turn around and start helping vets.
Right.
And it goes on and they pay it forward.
That's
the whole
thing.
point.
Is I'm trying to encourage pay it forward. I've been doing that for years now. It's key.
It is. It is a must.
The meaning and purpose of learning to manage the PTSD is there is a pay it forward component that it's just in our nature as people that want to serve and help other people.
That's why we signed up.
Sometimes in a violent manner, overseas, whatever. At our heart, though, we are in the service of our country and service of our fellow man or woman. So it is a key part of the recipe of recovery with PTSD is to pay it forward. Absolutely. It was for me a very big help of healing. Yeah. Right? You heal yourself by helping others to heal, and it's a powerful thing to do. Yeah. And it keeps us together. We're still part of a team. We're still part of a unit. We're still part of Canada, and it doesn't take long before we start banding together and doing these things. We just need. I can't emphasize that we just need to be healthy to be able to continue on and change things that needs to be changed. About 3-4 days ago, I was at the point where I was having good sleep for a week, and I went and put a post or two online one day. And most everybody who follows me closely, I went and put out a quick little apology note the next day. I deleted the post. It's just like, I'm sorry, peeps. I'm in the burnout here. It's tough sometimes. It's tough to turn off, to take a break. It's one of my greatest challenges. I'm thinking about getting a bike with Soldier On, one of them light bikes that are light enough that I could throw it on my shoulder.
Right. Those carbon fibers.
Yeah, because they have a budget of like $2,200-$2,300 towards a bike or a canoe or anything that's fitness oriented. They'll help you, even a fishing rod.
Yes.
And sometimes I give Soldier On Wounded Warrior a hard time, and then now I'm, on the other hand, thinking, but I'm going to go through the program to get something, so it's kind of a little bit of a double standard there.
These programs are out there.
They're there to help us, and we need to get past this pride of being too proud to ask for help, or
absolutely
feel like you got your hand out,
So
we have to try and get past it.
Just so you know, there's like Soldier On, True Patriot Love, Wounded Warrior and all that. The thing you have to do, once again, I come back to that, is you have to take charge and reach out. Because these people don't know where you are. They don't know you're struggling. They don't know where you are. It's for you to say, hey, I want to get back into good shape. I want to get healthy. And you reach out to them. Yes, you have to put paperwork in. Yes, they have to reach out, pick up the phone, write some emails. And I know the overwhelming of all of this. I know I've been through it. But the thing is that you have to do that to be able to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And like I said when I went to the North Pole, there is people out there that are genuinely looking for veterans to help. They just want to give them a hand up, not a handout. They're not looking to give you money. They're not looking at these things. How can I help you? Right? And having a good network and going to these events, right? I like the COPE and Wounded Warrior events and True Patriot Love events.
Did TPL, you said Tibet, did they go to the base camp of?
They went to the mountain just beside, to the top of the mountain. I can't remember right now off the top of my head.
It's right next to
Right next to Everest.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was talking to Trevor Green last night. His goal is to get to the base camp of Everest.
Yes.
He wants to walk it.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you know, if you're training, go there and get him as close as you can, worked up wise. And if you can't walk the whole thing, we even have a helicopter set up where you could get flown into that base camp. That's a number one on Trevor Green's bucket list. He's got a tattoo of Everest with its Tibetan name, I guess it is, underneath it. And that's something I want to help happen for Trevor.
We
that training goal fulfilled.
I have a vet that I'm helping since February, and she was just like all of us, struggling to get out of her house and doing these things, and we've been working daily together on her fitness and on everything that goes along with that, and we are now, me and her, going to the top of Kilimanjaro in January.
No kidding.
20,000 feet, one of the 7 summit. So that's if you make a plan, you have a coach, or you reach out to an organization, it will happen. You just have to do the work, right? So for this person to come out, and then it started with climbing a small mountain here in BC, and then she said I wouldn't want to go, so I just put it in her truck. I said let's go do it today. We can do it. And then coming back, and on a whim, she says, oh, I'd like to climb Kilimanjaro, and we're doing it with Outward Bound, which is another organization that helps. But we're not going as a veteran. This is not a veterans expedition. We're going as a contributor to help Outward Bound's programs like Youth at Risk, Women's Against Violence, and veterans program that Outward Bound put on. Yeah. So we're actually contributors. So we have to pay our way, and we also have to raise money for them.
Right.
So because I never do any of these expeditions just for myself. I always have to have a purpose and a goal. Yeah. And so right now we're training for Kilimanjaro.
For January.
For January.
And is that wintertime down there? Or?
Over in Tanzania? No, I don't know. They're near the equator, yeah. But there's snow at the top of Kilimanjaro.
There's still snow?
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the rooftop of
Mark Fuchko, he's his legs down about there. He lost them, but he did. Was it a True Patriot or Soldier? It was a Soldier On. He went to Kilimanjaro in 2010 or 11.
Yeah, a lot of guys and girls did it. Yeah, it's a 7-day hike, and it's 7-day hike going up there, and then the last night is the night of the ascent, right?
Yeah,
biggest altitude change, but it's one of the 7 summits.
That's outstanding. And you got to train for the thin air.
Yeah, so we're training on our aerobic capacity right now.
Yeah.
We're endurance as well, right? Trying to get as much as we can, aerobic threshold and all that. So we're running long distance. We're doing a couple of that. Plus all of our CrossFit high intensity stuff.
Cool. So they give you a sense of where you need to be fitness-wise to survive it, right?
Yeah, they give you, but a lot of groups go up there, right? Older people who aren't in shape, they make it. You just, us, we don't want to make it just to suffer the whole way. We want to be fit.
See, I'll go to Kilimanjaro and get Big Mac to go with us, and then
carry you up there.
I'll get him to carry me this time. He'll carry me to the top.
That's good.
Probably not, but I hope he's doing well. We're doing a cross Canada thing in November, and so I'm going to be coming through his town. It'll be neat to visit so many people that I've only known through that little machine we use to communicate with people, to see some people face to face, and have a town hall in every major city in Canada.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
It is going to be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to promote the positive stuff. Sometimes I got to get into some political stuff on our show, but I'm making sure that we cover all the colors and different corners of the veteran community. It's not all just about outrage and anger.
No. And
there's a lot of positive things happening.
Because the outrage and anger...
that often doesn't make it into the news. In
right.
the mainstream media news, when there's great things that have happened, it's not newsworthy because it doesn't create outrage. It doesn't stir people up and get them engaged.
So you know, if you know that the balance of outrage and depressing stuff is always there, I think it would be a really good thing for the guys and girls to really start focusing on the positive thing, right? And once you do, your mindset changes and you start noticing positive stuff out there. And like I say, like I don't watch the news. I don't read the newspaper or anything like that. I just do my thing, and I stay involved and read about, you know, from you, and read what's going on, and you get a pretty good gist without having the juicy stuff that would send you, that would trigger you, right? Because you want to stay away from that. But
it's
obviously,
bad if you turn on your phone first thing in the morning and you see some bad news.
Right.
That could screw up your day sometimes. That's what happened to me a few days ago, I think.
Yeah, so for me, which is, you know, being in business is the same way.
Yeah.
So for me, I used to wake up and look at my emails and look at my stuff. Now I don't even do that. Now I wake up, I take care of my, you know, I eat, I do my coffees. Me first. And once I'm fully awake, I'll go to the gym, I coach, and then at about 9 or 10 o'clock, I look at my email. By that time, you know, you're fully awake, and then I won't look at them until like about 4, 5, 6, even sometimes later, depending on when I'm coaching. And then never before bed, right? Mm-hmm. So, and then and I found that this has been very powerful for me, as in being like, you know, first thing in the morning, you open your eyes and you're triggered, there's no good, right? The day is going to be a little bit of a challenging day that day. So now I choose when I'm in the right mindset and say, okay, let's look at what we got.
You got self-discipline, good self-discipline. Yeah. And going through a program or going for a trip like Kilimanjaro or the North Pole, that commitment is part of bringing back your self-discipline that you might have lost when you left the regiment or the unit and went through that dark transition coming out of the military. Getting your discipline back, one of the best ways to do it is to go through a program. It's
to commit. Like this is actually that you brought that up, is that when I came back from Invictus, I could tell you that the God's honest truth, for about 2 weeks, I was really depressed, right? It was hard because it was just a high, right? All the media before, you know, I've been on a couple of shows, did a lot of interviews, and then took care of the guys and girls over in Orlando and made sure they, you know, they were doing well at their events, doing their thing, making sure that they had someone to talk to. When I came back home, then I came back to regular life. The business had been, you know, running while I was away, put out some fires, and then it hit me, right? I was like, okay, what's next? There's nothing next, right? This is it.
Have a new
and then the Kilimanjaro, it was funny, 2 weeks, and then the Kilimanjaro is the thing, and we committed to it, right? Just like the North Pole, just like the Invictus game, Kilimanjaro. The minute I said, let's do it, and we signed up, boom. I came back up, my energy came back up, we started training, we had a purpose.
Right.
And I think it's probably the best advice that I can give to the vets out there is that find yourself a purpose, commit to it, and then do it. You have to. Because when we were all at the unit, whatever you be, Navy, Air Force, Navy, Army, doesn't matter, you had a goal. You had a mission. If you're going over there on the boat, if you're going over there on the plane, or if you're walking to get over there, it's what you know where you were going. You can't hit a target you can't see, so you need to have a goal. You need to have a purpose, and most of us like to help others. So that's why I signed up with Outward Bound, to be able to. I'm going to do the trek, but I'm going to raise money as well, and for a good cause. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So if that's what you need to make you feel good, go and do that. Put in the application, Invictus game. You know, if you got this, my next trip's already planned. I want to go do the Machu Picchu there and do the Inca Trail.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Right? Another good trip down there. So you have to keep busy. You can't stay idle. if you joined the military, you were never idle to begin with, right?
No.
You needed something to do, and the lifestyle that we had, being Army and then Navy over at the Fleet Diving Unit, we were always moving. You're always busy, very busy.
Got something to do.
Always, there's always something to do, right? If it ain't moving, paint it, right?
Yeah.
Push that broom over there, do something, right? They know that idle hands are the work of the devil. So if you're staying home and you got nothing to do, and the first thing you're looking for is to make sure that it's 10 o'clock so you can crack a beer, then it might not be the best thing you should do, right?
Absolutely.
So I recommend to either, if you are a little bit overwhelmed with going into a crowded gym, or to go to yoga or whatever, right? Because the struggle is real if it's full of hot women in there, and I know you struggle.
I'm trying to get my wife to go with me all the time. She's like,
but,
I don't have the energy. I don't sleep well. The kid fucking kept me awake all night. And, well, we got to try getting re-engaged with that. I got to get back on track.
I
desperately do.
It is. It's for it's self-care, right?
Yeah.
And if we're going to be part of this big team of veterans, we got to be out there for our brothers and sisters. So the only way we can do that is if we are healthy. I can only help people if I'm healthy. So Thursdays, which is today, that's my day off. I don't even go near the gym, right? And I go and do my other stuff. And it's Sundays. Sunday is what I call my bunker day. I stay in here, I clean, I prep my food, I prep my week, and I go and I spend some time with my son.
You got a good routine.
So these are the 2 days where, that's taking care of Bruno.
Reorg days.
Reorg days, yeah, that's it. But the rest of the time is dedicated to making other people better, to helping out, to, making sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Right? But I cannot do that if I don't get those 2 days. Right? So it's very important. I think that what we could say today is take care of yourself, commit to something that will help you get out, because you need a big why. Why am I going to get up today?
Tell them.
Why am I going to get up today, right? You need, your why is what's going to keep you going through those hard days. You need a big why. Find that why. If it's your kid and your wife, if it's your friends, if it's your brothers, if it's a cause, then you will get up in the morning. You'll go and do your training. You'll eat better. You might not drink 10 beers. Maybe you'll just drink 2 beers.
Yeah.
And you'll make some small changes going through. I haven't drank in 4 years.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't good for me.
It wasn't doing you any good.
It wasn't any good, right? We all went through the self-medication process when we were first diagnosed, and 4 years ago I gave it up, and it was the best thing I've ever done.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm a good dad. I own businesses. I reach out and I try to connect people that can help other people, and that's what gets me up in the morning.
I'm hoping to have a more positive pursuit once this court case business is over. I really need to get into something that's positive. I can't do the negativity. And being part of the case, it attracts some negative energies from time to time. And
it is an unfortunate thing.
I've had to take my family right off of my profile, and it's just all business now. And anyway, sorry, bringing it back to me, but to Thai India, it's absolutely, mental strain just wears you right out.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I've got to now go get on a bike, and I'm already kind of exhausted. It's I need the case to end soon. So everybody, on that note, I need more advocates. So we're going to keep doing this show right up to November 11th this year. I'm hoping to have 40, 50 episodes by then. Basically, I'm trying to give you my network. I'm trying to help you see what I see. And so that people that are that mindset person that I'm a helper bee, I want to help others, I want to be like an advocate, I'm trying to give you all the tools that you need and all the network that you need to do that. And then hopefully I can then go away.
and have some errand time.
Errand and son and wife time.
Yeah, very important. Very, very important.
Yeah, I just saw a text on my top of my screen there that my honey's heading home a day early today. She's going to be home today, so I might consider just Booker T-ing back home and disengage with this stuff for a while.
Yeah.
I got 2 other people I got to meet today, but yeah, my wife's off for a couple weeks. I need me and her and the kid. We need to get away and have some good time. Like
it's your support system.
Like Tofino or somewhere, get into a nice retreat environment. Just let go of all this. Take this Fitbit thing off. Turn that phone off.
And do it.
Get into a healthy place.
Yes. Do yoga.
Yes. And stick with it.
And stick with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brother,
Thank you very much for
I'm
having me.
always here to support you any way I can and pass people on to you.
Same here.
And what's your gym's name again?
CrossFit Stasis.
CrossFit Stasis. So if you guys are in Victoria, go to CrossFit Stasis. This guy will sort your shit out. He's even a life coach on top of being a freaking fitness coach.
Reach out anytime. Anytime.
Great point of contact right here, folks. So guess what? This is like a veteran guerrilla special ops mission over here on the island. So who knows? I might turn around and do another show right out of the blue. It's one of those days. I love y'all. Talk to you soon.